Time for this news now. My name is Linda. Alela lots lined up for you, and we cross over to 8 exactly, where we have lots of stories lined up for you. We certainly take a look at what is actually happening here and beyond. And of course, that's basically some of the stories that we have set for you. We start with this one, where the High Court has issued an arrest warrant for a British national accused of murdering Agnes Wanjiku in Nanyuki in 2012. Justice Alexander Muteti granted the request by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, or DPP, after the suspect failed to appear in court. The alleged murder took place at Lions Court Lodge. That is on the night of March 31st to April 1st, 2012. The ODPP says the warrant will facilitate extradition and confirmed that witnesses, including some based in the UK, will be available during trial. Justice Muteti also directed that the names of the accused and witnesses must not be published to safeguard the judicial process.
That enemy must be very tough.
Now, the university lecturers have declared they will down their tools at midnight, citing government incitation on key financial and welfare demands. The University Academic Staff Union, WASA, says it has been 7 days since the strike notice was issued, and still no meaningful response has come from the authorities. The union is demanding, among other things, 2.3 billion shillings. That is to implement the 2021-2022 collective bargaining agreement. That is 8.8 billion shillings in arrears from the 2017 to 2021 CBA, and the immediate commencement of the negotiations, that is from the 2025-2029 CBA, including salary reviews and allowances. Union leaders say the government has consistently ignored the plight of university staff, undermining the quality of higher education. They also insist the strike will continue until all demands are met, not just acknowledged.
I issued the strike notice on 10th September 2025 to all council chairs. They are totaling to 41. The notice was copied to CS Ministry of Labour and Social Protection, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education, all Vice Chancellors, and all principals of constituent colleges. We expected that within 7 days, all our demands were to be addressed. I want to say, so far, nothing has been addressed. Instead, we have been called to meetings, and what we are getting for those meetings is promissory notes.
The doctor strike in Kiambu is in its 10th day, that is 107th day today, leaving public hospitals crippled and thousands of patients stranded with no end in sight. Many residents are being forced to seek costly treatment in private facilities or go without care altogether. According to KMPDU Central Region Secretary Bill Muriuki, repeated efforts to engage Governor Kimani Wamatangi have failed. He says the county leadership has refused to meet with striking doctors to resolve the crisis, despite mounting pressure from the health workers and the public. In response, residents across Kiambu have launched a countywide petition drive collecting signatures to urge the national government to intervene. Their message is clear. The health system is collapsing and lives are at risk.
It's an ongoing medical doctor strike in Kiambu County, which is over 100 days and counting, to the detriment of the patients. 1 month ago in Kiambaa constituency, during a citizen engagement, courtesy of International Commission of Jurists, ICJ, the poor status of Kiambu hospitals was raised. Hallowing experience brought to fore the dire situation in which our hospital has degenerated too.
Requested for these statistics because we want to deal with these issues from a very objective perspective, and we are calling upon the county government and the doctors union not to politicize this process of the medical care. That is our clarion call.
Brian Kamau, mimi ni mkaaji wa Kiambaa, mimi ni Gen Z. Hii petition ni kitu yenye iko kwenye the law in Kenya. That si lazima tushinde tukienda maandamano. Tuna collect 2 signatures na tunaambia Mr. President, there is a medical crisis in Kiambu County that the county government has refused to address or has turned a blind eye to address the medical crisis in Kiambu. The statistics that were given by WHO, one doctor in Kiambu County was seeing an average of 11,000 people. Anafaa kuona the max 6,000 people. This is a burden to the doctors who are there when you already wameenda on strike. Sasa hii tunasikia the doctors wenye wamekuwa wakimani mahospitali ni interns. Internship period has to end. Now my interns wataenda. Tutabaki mahospitali zikiwa na nani?
Sasa tunataka rais aingilie, ndio tunachukua signature tumpelekee. Tumwambie unasema universal healthcare is one of your priority. Lakini Kiambu watu wanakufa. Tunakuomba tafadhali rais, kuja usaidie Kiambu, watu wanakufa, mioyo zaidi ya 1,000. Tunakuomba.
Away from matters health, the East African region is falling behind on global targets to end hunger and achieve food security by 2030. A new report by the Global Network Against Food Crisis in collaboration with IGAD reveals that 42 million people across IGAD member states are facing acute hunger in 2025. The report shows a dramatic rise in food insecurity across the region from 13.9 million in 2016 to 41.7 million in 2025, nearly tripling in less than a decade. In Kenya, 1.8 million people are currently experiencing high levels of food shortage. That number is expected to rise to 2.1 million by January 2026 as the dry season intensifies. Principal Secretary for ESL, Honorable Alela Hasama, says the country will require over 400 billion shillings to respond to the projected crisis and safeguard vulnerable communities.
So these are very, very worrying figures, and truly it calls for us to be mindful and come together to take note of this. And these show that we are not making sufficient progress towards ending hunger, achieving food security and improving nutrition by 2030. Our food systems remain fragile, and climate extremes continue to expose this fragility. Both the March and May and the ongoing June-September rains have supported crop and livestock in several areas.
Currently, we are forecasting that we are going to have 1.8 million Kenyans who will require emergency food in the next 3 months because of the envisaged failure of rains. More than 4 billion shillings will be required to take care of that food shortage, so that the government buys food for people who will be affected by drought in the next 3 months.
Okay, 4 people are receiving treatment at Bungoma County Referral Hospital after Directorate of Criminal Investigations, a DCI officer accidentally discharged his firearm inside the Bungoma Law Courts. The incident left a prison officer, 2 male civilians, 1 woman, and the DCI officer himself injured during court proceedings. Confirming the incident, Bungoma County Police Commander Anderson Jage said that investigations have been launched to establish what transpired. He urged the public to remain calm and reassured the judiciary of enhancing security measures, stating that such an incident will not be repeated.
We have earned 1 incident today at around 11:30 at the Bungoma Law Courts, and specifically High Court number 2. 1 DCI officer who is an investigating officer, IO, in a case, accidentally discharged one round of ammunition from his Seska pistol, and that round ricocheted and injured slightly the following people. One prison officer who was injured at the shin slightly, and two male civilians, and another female civilian, both slightly. It is not serious. And the officer himself was also injured on the hip, where he enhosted the firearm. We have visited the scene and processed it. The victims have been taken to hospital in stable condition. As I have seen, they are slight injuries. And we have equally commenced the investigations on what transpired.
Cabinet Secretary for Internal Security Kipchumba Murkomen has issued a stern warning to emerging terror gangs, saying the government is actively working to dismantle them. Speaking during World Identity Day celebrations in Homa Bay County, Murkomen cited the recent assaults over journalists in the area as a wake-up call for enhanced security measures. Murkomen also urged Kenyans to register for identification documents, revealing that over 1 million citizens are yet to be listed in the National Register. He emphasized that proper documentation is key to national security and access to public services. The event was held during the Jukwaa la Usalama engagement, bringing together security agencies, civil society, and local leaders to discuss identity, safety, and inclusion.
This National ID Day, there are so many people. It's estimated that over 1 million people in Kenya of adult age, and I'm not talking about those who have just turned 18, 19, 20. I'm saying people who are 30, 40, who have not taken ID. It's estimated that over 1 million people are just living within Kenya without ID. Therefore, they cannot be employed, they can't get share, they cannot vote. There are so many rights they don't exercise, and the benefits they don't get from their own country because they don't have national ID. One for attacking journalists. This is the very problem we're dealing with of goons and gangs. And it was a very unfortunate situation that some of government officials have been implicated at the county level. We appreciate the fact that the governor has taken administrative action.
Kenya's education sector needs sustained and strategic investment to unlock its full potential, especially in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, that is commonly known as STEM. Leaders are emphasizing the role of STEM in driving industrial growth and technological advancement, and urging the government to prioritize long-term funding. The conversation also spotlighted the need for policy consistency, with calls to avoid government programs that begin with enthusiasm but stall midway. Now turning into costly white elephants, Kiharu, Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro, speaking during a youth engagement forum, stressed that the youth are the backbone of Kenya's economy and urged for targeted investments that yield tangible results. He called for accountability and continuity in education initiatives, warning against short-lived interventions.
So even as you seek to become a doctor, if you want to become a tech person, your end goal must be creating a company, and a company that has already the very good environment with our founders, with our partners, who can make these companies become something in the future. And the more the reason, the government now and the government in the future, all the time, we must always know that the youth of this country, the youth, is both the foundation and the future of our economy. And for us to always constantly know, the government all the time must constantly invest in education. And we must never see the kind of circus we keep seeing. There is free basic education, there is no free basic education. There are things that Kenya must be ahead of. We must also give STEM, science, technology, engineering, and the mathematics. We must give it a correct base and a strong base in our institutions of higher learning and also in our basic education.
The Kenya national amputee football team returned home on Monday night to a low-key reception despite making history in Bujumbura, Burundi. The team clinched the Confederation of East and Central Africa Amputee Football CECAFA, that is AF or CECAF title, with a 2-0 victory over Tanzania in Sunday's final at Intwari Stadium. Their triumph was, however, overshadowed by disappointment after Federation President Bernard Ongondo lamented the absence of government officials to welcome the heroes back.
Wamewekwa kwa kiwango ya juu. Tulikuwa na Tanzania, tulikuwa na Uganda, na hao watu unajua kwamba tunakuaga na ushindi. Tunashindana nao.
Our journey to Bujumbura was not easy. Starting with training, it was not the easiest one.
Tashukuru Mungu kwa hayo matokeo. Ya pili, nitasema matayarisho yetu hayakuwa mabaya. Vijana walijiandaa vizuri. Tulikuwa na karibu wiki 4 za mazoezi. Tukajiandaa, tukaenda Bujumbura pale. Vijana wakarise to the occasion. Na Mungu akatujalia tukashinda mechi zetu zote bila hata kufungwa goli lolote.
Other my fellow people who have experience, tulikuwa tunaambiana tu hapo kwa field na vitu vinawaka and kama vile tulivyokuwa tuna train.
Angalia hapa Nairobi County tuko na CC wa Youth and Sports. Tungeomba pia kuwe ni cumulative responsibility. How to players to feel the love, you see, and they are part and parcel of this society.
And Espanyol showcased grit and determination in La Liga as they edged Mallorca 3-2 in a thrilling encounter. Well, it's 15 minutes past 4 p.m. East African time. It's my hope that you're well updated, but certainly we are preparing more to keep you posted later on. My name is Linda Alela. We close the news now. Do have yourself a lovely afternoon.